going to do that as soon as the kids are finished school. That's what I'm going to do when, and they're waiting for these results to change. And they wait, and pretty soon that decision dies. And then not too long after, the goal dies. It fades. That's happening every day, everywhere, all over the world. Why? Because of ignorance. Ignorance is the only problem we have. Ignorance is the cause of all problems in the world. It's the only problem there is. Now, what is it we don't know? Because ignorance is simply don't knowing. When I was a little kid, I was raised to believe that when a person's rude, they're ignorant. Well, people can be rude and ignorant, but being rude doesn't make you ignorant. You know, ignorant is not knowing. We're all ignorant. And so, what's the problem? Well, you see, the frequency that has the thoughts that's going to take you where you want to go is way up there. And you're thinking way down here. That's not going to get you there. Yes, if you're on this frequency and you're trying to get a goal up there, forget it. It's never going to happen. Never. That would be like on an AM band and getting upset because you're not getting FM music. Or it'd be like phoning your mother and wondering why your next door neighbor answered the phone. What the hell are you doing there? You know if you dial your mother's number, you're going to get your mother. If you dial your neighbor's number, you're going to get your neighbor. It doesn't matter where they are in the world, because what your number is their frequency. Yet, like that, you're on their frequency. Well, a person's way down here on the frequency of what they're getting, and they're thinking, that's what I want. You're never going to get it. What's the problem? It's the paradigm. They really believe if they try hard enough, they'll say, no, as soon as they get the money, we're working at it, baby. We're giving it everything we got. I'll get the money. But the truth is, the decision dies. They don't get the money. And pretty soon, they don't even talk about the goal anymore. Yeah, well, we couldn't find the funding, That's the problem. That's not the problem, no. I like the way the Maharishi put it. I don't know if there's a true story, but it certainly fits. He wanted to take TM to the world. And one of his closest advisors said, that's going to cost a lot of money. Where's the money going to come from? He said, wherever it is right now. That's where it comes from. That's like saying, up here. Listen, if nothing's created or destroyed, everything you want is already here. That's all. The way to build cell phones has always been here. See? You're on the wrong frequency, Jack. You have to change. What do we have to change? We got to get a new paradigm. We got to get up to that high octane energy. How do you do that? Well, you say, that's where I'm going, and you make a committed decision. You see, when I first started to study this, I thought, how the hell do they make those decisions so fast? They get, bang, just like that, they make the decision. I'm going to tell you, there's only one prerequisite for making a decision. Just one. You want to remember this. There's times in your paradigm that's going to argue all day with you about this. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Just, do you want it? Doesn't matter whether you got any money. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you got the resources. Do you want it? You study Napoleon Hill's life. He had to gather all of this information from these brilliant people, and he had to put it in an organized manner and intelligently direct it so the average person so a guy like me could understand it. 2 months high school, no business experience, bad attitude, bad work record. Bang, like that, everything changed. You only have to say, do I want it? Now I want you to think, wants are in a conscious part of us. Wants are on the conscious level. Wanting it isn't going to cut it by itself, but that's where it starts. Why do you want it? But you're going to find the essence of who you are is perfect. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. You are a soul. You don't have one. You are one. And the soul, the spirit, is always for expansion and forward expression. So the essence of who we are is always banging this in the consciousness. Want this, want this. When I was a little boy, my grandmother pretty well raised me. And she was just like an angel of God. She was a dear little lady. And we believed everything she said was the gospel. And she kept telling us, you should be satisfied with what you got. Your mother's working hard. You should be satisfied. Well, I was never satisfied. So I thought I was a bad kid. Grandma was wrong. Dead wrong. You should never be satisfied with what you've got. You should be happy with what you've got. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. It's the spiritual essence of who you are, wanting to express itself in a greater way with and through you. And so it jams you in the consciousness, want this, want this, want this. People don't want it, they're not going anywhere. You've got to really want it. It doesn't matter how you're going to get it. They know if they want it, we'll do it. And at that point, you flip your brain onto that frequency, and the thoughts and things that you need will come to you. They'll just come. They'll come from the strangest damn places. But they'll come. You know why? Because you're in harmony with them. When you made the decision, just like that, you put your mind and body into a particular vibration. And that's the frequency you have to be on to attract the good you have to attract. You'll find people helping you don't even know. You'll find people come from near and far. If they have to come from China to help, they'll come. You see, these super successful ones, although there's only 3, 4, 5% of them, they just had this innate awareness. Now, I don't think most of them could even explain what I'm explaining. Most super successful people are what you call unconscious competence. They can't explain why they're winning. They can't explain it. But they're winning. Therefore, they've got something that's non-transferable. They can't even give it to their own kids. I was living in England. I was earning all kinds of money. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I really didn't. I had no idea. I was unconscious competent. I used to take handfuls of money and I'd go down to the Playboy Club on Hyde Park and I'd play roulette. And I never cared if I won or lost, and I usually won because I didn't care. And this was very common. You know, take a whole bunch of money, go down. I knew where the money was. And one day I thought, this isn't really very bright. I'm not being a very responsible individual. And I started to think, what the hell happened? How did I change? I mean, you talk about losers. I was losing. I mean, really losing. And I thought, what happened? And I couldn't find anybody who could tell me. Not like you, I'd been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you've got to be really smart. I knew I wasn't very smart. I mean, there was all kinds of indicators that would prove you I wasn't very smart. Then I was told, you know, if you're going to get a good job, you have to have good education. I was kicked out of Danforth Tech after 2 months in high school. They told me to get the hell out of there. They didn't want me. I was happier than they were, though, when I left. I hated school. You see? I didn't have a good job. I owned the whole company. So I thought, that's not true. You don't need a good education. Now, the truth is you do. You don't need a good formal education. Right? It isn't true that you have to be smart to earn a lot of money. Some people are just functionally illiterate. They can neither read nor write, earning millions. Yet you'll find other people who could figure you right through a brick wall. They're so brilliant. All kinds of degrees, and they're broke. So where the hell do we get the idea you got to be smart to earn money? You're not very smart. You just have to understand how to earn it. Earning money is a simple thing to do. I found it's one of the simplest things to do. All last night while I was sleeping, I was earning money. You can earn more money when you're sleeping than you can spend when you're awake. Every time we get a sale, it comes in on my phone. Ping, 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 ping. I've had 200 of them just since I went in the green room a little while ago. That's not an accident. That was a decision I made. But it was a decision I made with an educated mind. I understand how to earn money. And if you don't understand how to earn it, the odds are pretty good you're not going to earn very much of it. So you'll be struggling all your life. But ask yourself, does this make sense? You don't have to be very smart to earn money. Now, that doesn't mean smart people don't earn money. Some of them earn all kinds of money. But that's not a prerequisite. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? And then figure out how you earn it. You don't earn money by working. He tells you right in here. He said, if you're one of those people who believe hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish the thought. It isn't true. He said, riches, when they come in huge quantities, are never the result of hard work. Riches come, if they come at all, in response to definite demands, based upon the application of definite principles, and not by chance or luck. Hill explains in there 30 ways to fail, and only 13 on how to accumulate wealth. There's a company out of California here somewhere. They flew into Toronto a couple of weeks ago, and I was filming the 13 principles. I'm looking forward to see what it's all like when it's done. 13 principles for earning money. Decision is one first. You're going to make a decision of what you're going to do. Now, let's go back and look. You're here and you want to go there. Now that is the only thing you have to know. These are the only things. You have to know where you are and you have to know where you're going. Now that is so simple. This is on page 14. That is so simple that anyone can get it. There's nothing complicated about it at all. You have to know where you are, and you have to know where you're going. You can say, well, I'm sitting in a seminar. That's not what I mean. But this is so simple. I know where I am, and I know where I'm going. I was sitting in a house on Maplewood Lane, and I wrote down, I'll build a company that operates all over the world. I had absolutely no idea how I was going to do it. None. But we did it. And we are doing it. Now that's so simple and so obvious. Why are so many people stuck? And they're stuck. We got lots of people that are stuck right in this room. This isn't a myth. This is after over 50 years of research. The obvious answer would be, well, they don't have a goal. And that may be the right answer, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's more to it than that. You see, I think the problem is over here, right here, where they are. They really don't understand where they are. They don't get it. And what we've got to grasp, we've got to get the idea that there's something that's missing that we don't know what it is. And we've got to get it. If we don't get it, we're toast. It ain't going to happen. So you got to ask yourself, what is it I'm missing? Well, there's your answer right there. It's the paradigm. The paradigm's controlling you. It's got nothing to do with what you know. Everybody here knows they can do better than they're doing. Would you agree? You do know how to do better than you're doing. That's not the problem. You see, I think we know how to treat people properly, but we don't always do it, do we? No, we don't. We're a little nasty at times, aren't we? And then they get upset because they get nasty back. So you got a lot of nasty going back and forth. Here's two intelligent people not treating each other very well. It's not that they don't know how to treat each other well. They do know how to treat each other well. Yet it doesn't matter where you're sitting. I don't care what country you're in. You've got this exercise book. Ask yourself, do I know how to do better than I'm doing? The answer is yes. Yes, you really do. So the answer is a paradigm. That's a program. You put programs in your computer. Well, you've got one in your subjective mind. And you didn't put it there. Do you know almost all your beliefs you didn't even originate? If you analyze some of your beliefs, you're going to realize just how ridiculous they are. What's your name?
Ola.
Ola? Hi, Ola. Where are you from?
Nigeria originally.
You're from Nigeria. Now, you would say Ola and I are totally different. How many think you're black, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not true. You're not black at all. Okay? Who's got black shoes on? You do? And see? Well, she's not the color of those shoes, is she? No, but the shoes are black. Mm-hmm. And then they'll say, I'm white. I'm not white. My shirt's white. If you ever saw a white person scream, hey, thank God they're white! You see? Why do we say she's black and I'm white? Because that's what you see. Do you know where you see that? You've been programmed to see it. You don't see with your eyes. You see through your eyes. You see with cells of recognition in your brain.
Oh, man!
You've been programmed to see something that isn't even there. How about all those obstacles that are stopping you from going where you want to go? Maybe they're not there either. Maybe we've originated. Maybe it's a lie. Maybe it's somebody told us and they were a person of authority. Makes sense, doesn't it? You see how we can get on the wrong track? That's programming. Even she said, I'm black. She's not black at all. And she would say, I'm white. I'm not white. I don't know if I've ever seen a white person. And to tell you the God's truth, I don't know if I've ever seen a black one. So why do we say that? Because that's what we see. Is this starting to make some sense? It does, doesn't it? See, that's such an excellent example because you see something that's not there. You're seeing it with cells of recognition in your brain. You see things about yourself where you're incompetent. You're not incompetent at all. Maybe you did something at one time and it was sort of silly. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. Everybody said you're just so damn incompetent. And that might have been a person of authority. It went right into your mind. And it could stick there. And if your self-image wasn't strong, you could accept that. And then you think, well, they know. Truth is, they don't know. Most cases, they don't even know they don't know. So think. This is really a black and white deal. I want you to think about it. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in. If the paradigm does not change, the results ultimately remain much the same from one year to the next. I want you to ask yourself. I want you to think your financial situation. Now, I don't mean if you got a couple of $1,000 more than you did a year ago, but are you much wealthier than you were a year ago? Or are you about the same place? Most people are about the same place. They're just about the same place now as they were a year ago. The relationships are probably very much the same as they were a year ago. Why? Well, the paradigm's been controlling them. They weren't thinking. And so they stay where they are. Now, the more intelligent they are, the better argument they're going to put up is why they're there. If you only understood why. I know and I understand. Your results are a manifestation of what's going on inside. I don't care about any of the stories you got. When you start managing people, you're going to understand management is the development of people. It's not the direction of things, contrary to popular belief. That's the way most companies teach it. It's the direction of things. It's not. It's the development of people. So what you want to do is take a look at a person's behavior. Check their results. Take a look at their results and understand the results of the manifestation of behavior.